I am here with a great guest, Chef James Cullen, Accidental Cajun on all the social channels and all that. And I'm so glad you came to have coffee with me, and your coffee of choice should be no surprise to anybody that has ever seen your Instagram feed at all.
No, it's a cafe au lait. That's kind of my go-to. Anywhere from Cafe Du Monde to anywhere else I can get it. When I drink hot coffee, 9 times out of 10, I'm drinking iced coffee in the summer, but hot coffee is always a cafe au lait. Sometimes a frozen cafe au lait.
Oh, yeah. Coffee, and I always like default to coffee and chicory around here because that's just what I think of as a cafe au lait.
I love the chicory. You know, it's got, when you're a chef, you kind of think of things in notes, almost like musical notes, because when you put a dish together, you compose it. So the chicory has this real bitter background note that I like. It's kind of like the ruined gumbo for me, but it is, and I love to cook with it. It makes a great addition to gravy. When I do smothered pork chops, a lot of times I'll put a little bit of chicory coffee in there at the end to give it kind of a dirty note or a blue note.
Interesting. So so as far as cooking goes, you've cooked at many places around town, but your latest project is, super, I've been reading your stuff, it seems like it's super near and dear to your heart.
It's my fried chicken thing. I've been trying to do this for years. I started frying chicken for family meal at the restaurants in New York I used to work at because it was quick. We always had chicken, and we had a fryer, so you'd make it, and it was always people's favorite. They loved it. And the first time I ever knew that I really liked doing it, in 2010, after the oil spill in the Gulf, we did a fundraiser up in New York City at the Blind Tiger, and I also did one on my rooftop in Hoboken, and I made fried chicken for everybody. And I did a bunch of stuff, barbecue, gumbo, fried chicken, and I had a little bit of leftovers, but not the fried chicken. The fried chicken got wiped out. And from there, it kind of became like a signature, which is weird because I'm from New Jersey. But we have fried chicken cutlets for the Sicilians. We make it. And so I got really into it. And coming down here where there's so much great fried chicken, it's just kind of wanted to add another note into. And
so you got a GoFundMe going on.
I do.
And I'll link it. I'll link it below.
I have a I have a GoFundMe going on. The initial plan is to get a catering operation and a delivery service going. Hopefully a storefront at some point, but not a full-blown restaurant. I'm looking for
And you're looking to do isn't there a new fried chicken festival that you want to do?
I'm trying to get in. I am not. They announced the vendors the other day. I was told someone was going to get back to me. I'm not sure if I got in, but
you're looking because that's just your deal.
I'm still trying to get in. If I don't get in, I will sell it everywhere I can sell it. I'll cook it on the corners. I'll deliver it to your office.
Which is cool because that's the organic, that's the vibe, man. That's the.
It's people food. It's people food. It's street food. It's simple food that everybody likes, and that's kind of been my calling card for years. I'm a classically trained chef, and I can do that food. I can do fine dining, but it's not really what I'm passionate about, and it doesn't connect with people in the same way because fine dining is kind of standoffish, and I'm not a standoffish person. I'm in the mix, and so I want.
That's like I am with the. That's why that's like me with the coffee. I can put any cup. I can do any flavor profile you need me to do, but at the end of the day, it's sharing a cup of coffee with people that really gets me excited, and that's what this is all about.
That's New Orleans. People is the reason I moved here. I love the people. I love the culture.
Which you can totally tell. When you get on your Instagram feeds and stuff, your sunset's in the quarter, you live in the quarter, and just your pictures are just so anybody can take a picture, and I'm real into photography myself, which you can tell from my Instagram feed.
Absolutely, it's great.
I love it. And so when you're passionate about a thing, it comes through that camera. You can see it, and your Instagram's just the passion is there, which I really like.
I try to find what's interesting in every picture, and there's always something interesting if you look hard enough. And have you ever seen that movie Smoke, where I think it's Harvey Keitel's character stands on the corner every day and takes the same picture of the same corner, but every day it's different because there's different people, there's different. I take a lot of pictures that are the same, and it's even but you find different details in it, and I love going to different neighborhoods. I try to go to all parts of the city, you know, because I'm not from here. I don't really have artificial barriers of where I should or shouldn't go. I just kind of go where I think it's going to be interesting.
That's kind of funny. Yeah, people that are from here, it's like, whoa, you don't go in that.
And I can understand that. I mean, there's places home, you know, from New Jersey, like, oh, you were in Newark, and like, oh, that was like what are you doing in Newark? They figured, you know, you were up to no good, or.
But you have no idea. So you cross St. Claude or St. Charles or whatever, and you have no idea what.
I mean, I do and I don't.
I mean, now you do, that you've been here a long time. But.
Well, here, so the first, this is a good story. So the first time I went to a second line, it was uptown. I believe it was the Divine Ladies. It's the one that goes down to St. Charles. At any rate, so I'm there, and I go and I follow the whole second line. And at the end of the second line, I'm outside of a bar, all the way up in Central City. I have no idea where I am. had a few drinks, and now I'm like, how do I get home? I'm like, I don't see any cabs, and I hear, you know, a guy behind me. He's like, hey, white guy. I'm like, he's like, you see any other white guys? I'm like, he's like, come on, come in a bar. So I go in a bar, we start talking. Turns out they're part of the Paulson Brothers, or Paulin Brothers band. And we play pool, we keep talking, and they're like, hey, where you staying by? And Simon was staying uptown with a friend. I just moved. And I'm like, I'm on Magazine Street. He's like, okay, we'll drop you off. So I get in the car with a bunch of people I don't know. And we go, and the bar was Taps 2, which is on Washington, just on the other side of Claiborne or Galvez. It's right in there. So we drive about, I don't know, half a mile, and they take a turn behind the cemetery, St. Joseph Cemetery. And they go, hey, we want to show you something. Get out. So now this is where I think it's going to go real bad.
This is your nervous part. You're like, what are you showing me? Yeah.
So I get out, and we walk up to a small shotgun, and there's a little plaque. And this guy's like, that's my grandfather. He was a famous band leader, and this is his house. And the family came out. We had a beer with the family. Got back in the car. Dropped me back off uptown, you know, gave me his number. He's like, if you ever need anything. And like, that was probably the defining moment where I really fell in love with the town, because it was just such a random kind of perfect
It's
thing.
just random
it's
kind of like.
So bad, so quickly, but it didn't.
It went just the opposite.
It went just the opposite, and it really endeared me to the city and to the people and to kind of the culture that we have here.
Chef, I am so glad you're here. I'm so glad. I am very much of the mindset of this is a port city, and we need people coming through constantly to make it what it is. I think that's what it's special about it. I'm definitely not one of these, you know, guys that are from here that are like, yeah. I love the mix of people in. I really appreciate everything you're doing, and I appreciate your passion for the city and sharing it with like your friends and family back home. And I mean, just that to me, that just gets the brand out there. I mean, gets what's super special about this town. What I love about it, I mean, you're bringing it to the nation, and then you bring it here, and it becomes a part of you, and you become a part of it. It's freaking awesome.
That's the way it has to happen. I mean, there really is no other way here. What I always found interesting, if you look at the Italian menu in New York City, it's pretty recognizable as sometimes red sauce, Italian, Southern Italian, you know, or maybe Northern. But the dishes are pretty similar from restaurant to restaurant, but there's a canon of dishes, but they're always very, you know, Italian or Italian American. When you look at, say, Mandina's, they have spaghetti and meatballs, and gumbo, and fried chicken, and the culture here.
Which my father-in-law loves Mandina's, man. When he's in town, he's like, Mandina's.
I enjoy it, I really do, and I enjoy it because it's exactly what you expect it to be every time you go. The broader point is, culture here kind of gets subsumed, and you get brought into the mix. It's not isolated.
No.
And if you go to, you know, when I was a chef in New York, you go to Chinatown. It was a very discreet neighborhood. You could go to, you know, Spanish Harlem. You could go, and there was a lot of cultures, more cultures than you've ever seen anywhere, but they didn't really mix.
It's why we identify with the gumbo so well.
I mean, it's a really hackneyed kind of analogy, but it works.
It works
for here, and it expresses everything that's true. And I mean, we should celebrate that, you know, especially like with everything going on in the world now. People mix here better than anywhere.
And
anywhere
we
that
should
I've
be a
ever
prototype,
seen.
an archetype for that.
I think so.
Chef, thank you so much for having coffee
Appreciate it.
with me. Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Kevin.
Take care.
Thank you.